Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Fontus, some aliens, Mayhem mode in Shadow Empire. We're on basically the end of turn 304. Victory score-wise, we're about 3.2 victory score away from winning. Just before the stream started, I did a little bit of math, and it looks like it's about 1.5 victory score unclaimed. Probably things like this island here. So the odd island or two is unclaimed. And would potentially be worth some score if that were to be remedied. Although, we are fighting a war, so we should carry out fighting the war to conclusion. And we are bottlenecking, so the harder we push this war, the greater likelihood we are going to have things lock up on us. Hopefully it does not lock up before we hit freedom, City of Freedom, because we do have a demand to take the city in the next 8 rounds. In the meantime, we're probably going to be trying to improve our logistics by various mechanisms, probably by expanding the truck station in Noda Docks, and once we take freedom, probably by running the rail out to freedom. Train line to freedom. Construction-wise, steering refresher, a little bit of delay on one of the ports, that's fine. Yeah, one of the delays on the ports up here. Solar panel issue, or solar panels just got queued up. Fuel depot is queued up. We'll probably continue expanding the fuel depot. Might continue to expand the fuel depot. That's the last level of the soil demilitarization facility at that location. So if we want more, we'll have to go someplace else. Otherwise, that doesn't look too bad. Let's do some double checking on the mines. I don't think there's any mines about to run out. No. Or did I play a peripheral mining in Bellevue Hill today, this turn? Decision. Looks like no, so I should play one now that I'm looking at. That's one of the reasons we check before we start this as we start the stream up. So here we want a peripheral mining. Worst case scenario, I did last stream, and we're just wasting a little bit of political power. Prospecting, we don't think there's going to be anything to discover. It doesn't look like there's anything to discover. Let's do also a quick overview on personnel opinion. Who's our grumpiest opinion? This advisor. We'll go ahead and buff this advisor. This advisor might actually be someone we want to take off of being an advisor and give a proper job to as well.
Roger that.
Here we go. So with that, let's go ahead and cycle the turn. Let's see if the situation continues to be as good as where we left it. And if it is, we'll continue our slow grinding assault forward here. We're attacking like 1 or 2 hexes a turn, using a combination of the armored vehicles and the artillery in the attack. One thing we may do, well, at some point we're going to need to increase the amount of oil we're getting, and then we'll probably start trying to contemplate the plausibility of getting an airfield up with which we can deploy sort of strategic level bombers. Then we can go bomb their largest city that's off this island on a different continent. Okay, we can see troops moving around. It doesn't necessarily look like they're moving away. It actually looks like they're moving up. Probably trying to reinforce the hexes that we've... Well, reinforce the locations where we drove them back from. was a landing somewhere. Looks like but not aligned. That's something I should be concerned of. We got some troops I can move over there. Make sure that it doesn't become a problem. Round 305, we suffered no losses nor made any kills. We have 9 decisions. Growing Thieves will be one of them. One of our governors just retired, okay. I think the governors are higher job tier than advisor, so we're gonna actually retire that, or get that advisor. That advisor. You. I'm gonna call you up. We're gonna give you a better job. We'll make him the governor.
Copy
When that comes up next turn. So confirm. Development of new weapons, I think, is still a no. We definitely want to wait until we get Battle Dress. 79% of the way through Battle Dress. It's also tempting to maybe wait for some of the other military ones. Resonance scanners, ammo compactation, actinide tipped, hyper explosive would be tempting to wait for, but I think as soon as we get Battle Dress, we're going to start doing the next pass, assuming our guys are, if we look at models, got decent field testing, like 83 plus field testing. So yeah, for the moment, we're going to hit no here. Minor worker strike.
Order acknowledged.
Ease, expansion coral, elevation increase, and then we are extending the mine, which has 0 reserves left at this point. So 53,000 more in the well, cost of its remaining ease of access. So the mine, when it is empty, is in fact empty. Fans release a spy. We'll accept that offer.
Copy that.
Are there any delays in construction? So the port is done. No delays except for the demilitarization plant, which is a little bit annoying, and the truck station, which, because of the delay, is not done. It will be done next turn at this rate. You could do with more workers, apparently. And everyone here is really, really upset. Due to high unrest. Okay.
Understood.
Okay, get more workers. Payment-wise, you're not paid that much more than the civilian population, so let's raise wages to get the workers to at least be happy.
Understood.
Okay, that didn't help enough, but it's a start. Yeah, that's not online, so that's probably the squids again. And yeah, where is my planes? My planes are somewhere in here. There they are. Helicopters. And the first helicopter in, air recon that hex.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
And then recon this hex.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
And then we start our attacks. So all of red, because red's going to want to move into that square. Do bring along some artillery. Yes, I think we're going to do this square, this hex, and then the artillery from the third hex. Are some indications we're suffering from ammunition shortages, probably due to the amount of combat we've had recently.
Move out. Mission accomplished.
See how we move forward and take the seized hex. They don't have enough initiative to attack the next targeted hex. And this one we're going to send brown, purple. Oh, I can get one of the 11th to join in, which actually will be ideal. That'll let us get some of the artillery in as well. Without any penalties.
Advancing.
Okay, and the hex driven the enemy out of.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, and then we want to attack here. Probably just a full frontal infantry assault. We don't have a lot of support nor good reconnaissance here. Although it's maybe not the end of the world if we don't successfully drive the enemy back.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. 3 hexes seized. Armored mechanized assault on the last hex. Let's try that. That's got decent odds by the looks of it. And we are taking pretty heavy combat losses. Probably mostly among the... Okay, so we didn't take the hex, although we did decent damage. 5 subunits to 30... No, 15... that's pretty bad damage. Again, that's probably mostly losses... Yeah, mostly losses amongst those APCs. Arguably because at this point in the game, those out-of-date APCs have worse armor than the infantry they're supposed to be protecting. Just to give you an idea of how out-of-date the old APCs were. Okay. So we took 3 hexes, so we're making progress. Between us and the target we're going for, which is freedom right now, we've got about 5 hexes we need to get. So at that rate, we're making the timetable, let's say. And yeah, the truck station was delayed, which is a little bit of a disappointment. Although maybe not unexpected. And then port 4 is the only one that finished. I do need to save up more people before we build another port. We'll see in a couple turns what effect that has on maritime trading contract for the route going through there. This one specifically, which previously was being penalized on both ends, so we may be seeing it not be penalized on the loading end. Non-point points by another 33% addition on top of the 90 or the negative 75. Yeah, it's a bad place to land if you don't got the port. The port wasn't big enough, although the port will be bigger soon. So we'll see if that helps with loading at least.
Copy that.
Okay. Don't necessarily want to queue up anything else to be built this turn, so I think that's where we're going to go ahead and cycle the turn again. And then we'll check up on this next turn, see if that has improved. We'll also have to see when we get to Freedom, if Freedom is still a town of 100,000 people or so, or if the enemy has drafted so many out of the city at that point. Okay, see the moving around. We can see the non-aligned being non-aligned and annoying. This is a thing I have with the amphibious ones, at least. The amphibious ones, because they can go into water, like, that makes the what would have previously been safe borders very not safe. And this is why you see lots and lots of horses just sort of sitting around doing nothing in these oceanic games often. At least in my experience, that's what's going on. Okay, yeah, and it's just a bunch of squids. It's just a bunch of squids. Fuel depot complete, truck station complete. I'm thinking I'm still going to want to expand the fuel depot. Pop into the HQ. Logistics. I do want a bigger fuel depot, although this is the last time we'll be able to expand. No, we'll be able to go up to... Will we go to a 7? No, I think we're in cap at 6. Wait. Maybe the last time we'll be able to expand it here without having to go to a different location. Food supply is actually downtrending, so maybe an argument to not build the food one, because obviously it's not doing anything at the moment. Although we are working on hydroponics robotization, I suspect we'll be getting lots of food when that's done, so at the current burn rate on food, I'm not going to do anything to solve the food problem. Because I'm not sure it is a problem. You're inferior, you wouldn't make a good advisor for actually using the advisor as an advisor, but one of our own decisions is to appoint the governor who we want to be the advisor, or was the previous advisor. So you get that job. It means it's toss up between you, and both of you are probably bad for the job. Although Camp 1 is someone I may show the front lines, rather than a comfy office job.
Roger that. Understood.
Okay, one of our cities is having a little bit of an unrest problem.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Roger that. Affirmative. Affirmative.
That's supposed to be reducing unrest, right? Oh, it's supposed to be, but our troops are losing, and the militants are quite strong. Okay. Okay, we're gonna weaken a garrison somewhere else to bring in some professional troops to suppress the riot. Oh, that's must have been what I forgot in the last. Yeah, we got one civilian set of trucks in there, which is going to the camp. There we go. Okay, so we are attacking here because we definitely want this hex. Oh, I should do air recon first.
Birds are in the sky. Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango
Okay,
Foxtrot.
somewhat useful. Constance. Ooh, I don't like the fact that we don't have enough for readiness here. Oh no, this is the same turn we just fought, right? I haven't ended the turn. I'm coming back for another round on the attacks here. I'm like, wait. That would explain why I haven't received no reinforcements. Yes, that would explain why the reinforcements haven't delayed. Okay, so it's a good thing we've got trucks anyway. So yeah, we're unable to contain. No, we were just doing decisions. So yeah, this has to be a new turn. Is the supply situation just that bad? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Yeah, the supply situation's saturated. Okay. Again, that probably means we need you to expand. So continue expanding the dock or the truck station.
Roger that.
Up to 3. That one's already up to 3, and this is not actually action points at this point. This is raw points. But yeah, bit of a shame we don't really got the action points to follow up with a good attack here. And yeah, if we don't have the action points, I don't think we can get a viable attack going on that hex. Okay. So black and light green will launch the attack because we want them to take the hex. We're pushing them in the hex. Take it. Then want to deploy someone from these 2 hexes to come in as support. This one has the artillery, so if we toss one of the higher readiness artillery in, that would be ideal. Then some of the heavy tanks from the other one. Armored car, one of the artillery still has enough readiness, we'll bring that one in as well. We're not moving. Yeah, we're not going to move purple. We are going to move brown if we succeed, but we're not going to move them to this hex. So we'll have purple do some attack here. Get up to close to the stack limit. Let's go out with that attack force.
Going in.
Second time's the charm attacking this hex.
Mission successful.
And one unit was too suppressed to join in. Okay. Power going down is a little concerning. We got a big reserve because we built a bunch of power banks. We are working solar fields, which should help there. Oh, I know why the power's going down. It's because we're having unrest in the zone with all the power. Makes sense. Or no, with our power plant. The rest of our power is renewable. We have one conventional power plant, I think. Yeah, one conventional power plant. So, effectiveness to the workers working here does affect power quite a bit. We do have enough power reserve that's not an immediate issue. Yeah, hopefully on the next turn with the troops here, we'll be able to squash that unrest a little bit more. And have it go down and not up, because apparently our efforts to get unrest under control did the opposite. We just did that side. Okay. Yeah, we just did that side. Placements. A couple more rifle. Another armor. Another one of the armored buggies. Man-padder. Superhero man-pad for AA. Okay. I appreciate when the militia bring unique weapons. This is not a unique militia weapon. I mean, unique as we haven't fielded it in the actual professional army yet. Yeah, AA. They've prepped some AA. Hopefully that place doesn't come under air attack, so they don't have to find out if the AA actually works or not, but that should be reasonably effective AA. Nation. Do I not have any efficiency? There's the efficiency drive.
Roger that.
There we go. And then Shadow Spy. Projector. Foreign Affairs.
Yes, sir.
Covert Ops. Cold to Rebellion.
Yes, sir.
20,000 people will join the rebellion. And then we'll cycle turn. If we just make a dash for freedom, we're about 3 hexes away. So yeah, definitely think we're on schedule for taking the city. So we see some limited reinforcing, although nothing that would be too concerning. There we are, round 304, we have 7 decisions. 3 danger events are 3 of the 7 decisions.
Copy that.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
Sabotage! We can pay them off, we can do a normal democracy. I think that was expensive. Yeah, that was an expensive one. But
Understood.
expensive is better than something we can fail.
Yes, sir.
Because apparently our RNG has not
Roger
been
that.
favoring us when it comes to that crisis.
Copy that.
Okay, let's attempt to reduce unrest again with suppress unrest. Send the army.
Affirmative.
Succeed, minus 16 unrest. There we go.
Affirmative.
Minus 10 unrest.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay, below 10 is good enough. They should start to come down. Fear is bad, but fear is not as bad as the equivalent amount of unrest. Okay, we are positive on everything except for power, which is good to see. And then hydroponics should fix the food issue permanently. Construction-wise, both solar fields completed. Let's continue their upgrades.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
They're, given our current state of affairs with our stockpiling, they're reasonably cheap to build for what they do.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And they don't need to be fueled. More expensive, although probably what we want to do in the long run is development of serpentization plants. Because again, while serpentization plants are effectively fueled with water, this is a water world. We have plenty of water. We just also have plenty of sun, so we're going to rock the sun rather than the metal cost of using water. Oh yeah, bottlenecking is still occurring. Solar panels worked. Demilitarization was still delayed due to, you know, unrest issues. Power bank went speed. Fuel depot went speed. Train station, or no, truck station did not go at speed, although it wasn't delayed as terribly as it could have been. This was actually with the demilitarization facility. We'll throw workers at the problem.
Understood.
Do you have any cards to help the opinion? No, not really. That's kind of the problem you can run into with that we went, right? If we were commerce, we'd have throw money at the population to make them happy as an option. Okay, offensive-wise, where do I want to attack? Definitely not getting all the supplies we want, but that's, again, that's not a good reason to not attack. Thinking. Thinking about pushing those 2 hexes. Now let's go for those 2 hexes. So air recon.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Air recon.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
And you actually have enough action points. I'm gonna have you air recon the lone guy down the
Birds
end.
are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
It's one big enemy. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't succeed at pushing him back.
Advancing.
Yeah, drove him back.
All clear, sir.
That sets us up for a three-way attack there on the next turn. And we did get the artillery up. Okay, so let's attack here. It's going to be fairly narrow assault. Push old purple in, push the artillery into the attack. Probably only bring the one of brown in. Okay, this is not looking like great combat odds, so we'll probably take a bunch of losses in the attack.
Fire!
But with the artillery involved, I suspect it will be successful.
We need more firepower,
Oh,
sir.
not quite enough. 11 subunits lost to 18. So almost successful. Because this was an attack, we had the artillery sort of doing direct fire. We did lose some of the lightly armored old guns during the withdrawal. Oh, losing 2 artillery pieces is not super bad. If for no other reason, that means we get an excuse to replace them with the newer, up-to-date ones. Okay, we're also going to try attacking the other square. We'll take the rest of the artillery, the armored vehicles, and all of light green and some of... Actually, no, not all of light green, all of dark green. And some of light green.
Move out.
Okay, they're able to drive the enemy back. Lost another 14 subunits to 11 subunits. So, attrition-wise, the enemy is coming out ahead. Although we still are taking ground. Two X's taken. We failed to attack and take the third. Okay. And that's the attacks for the turn. We still drive them back. We're still making good time to get freedom. We are, in fact, proverbially at the gates of freedom. But especially with how many's in freedom, I think a direct attack on the city at the moment is a poor plan. Probably need to clear the outskirts a little bit more to attack from multiple sides. We'll probably run out that hex, and then probably try to get 2 more hexes here and do a 3-way prong into the attack. Okay. We'll see if that's... well... oh, and we lost a lot of guys over here with the suppression, I suppose. Yeah, the unrest should now be under control, so these should be improving. Okay, I have a sort of a desperate solution here to help with happiness.
Understood.
Zone orders. We're actually going to de-incorporate the area here. Effectively turning the taxes off and improving the rate which gains happiness.
Standing by for orders. Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
Oh, Corona has an asset.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
Come here. In Corona, I need specifically the private unit to disband. And we can call you up.
Standing
So
by.
merge
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
into Lamotus. Confirm orders.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
There we go. Give the city packet support. Some point. Okay, you're actually reasonably happy, so we're gonna call you up.
Standing by
Yeah.
for orders.
You're gonna be incorporated.
Yes.
You're reasonably happy. Could be better, but you're reasonable.
Standing by. Yes, sir.
And you
Yes,
on the
sir.
regular as well. That way, both of these can start gaining culture. Once this one's up to 100% culture, we can go ahead and merge these two. Well, once both of them are 100% culture, we can merge these two. So close to each other. And yeah, I think that's the turn as far as the attack is concerned. If we didn't have the power banks and this had like 10k power sitting around, I'd be a little bit more concerned about that power drain rate. But we built some solar panels. We're improving the solar panels even more. We'll expect that to go up at some point in the near future. We're also using laser weapons, so some of it might be the laser weapon usage in the recent turns. Well, using laser weapons on the vehicles. 86%, 59. Which one was the one? Oh no, that's going to be easy to check at the orgs. So eco 59 going 5% a turn, so about 9 turns out keeps that speed. You're about 4 turns out if you keep that speed. Flying Air Force is doing one that isn't linear, isn't a binary, it's a linear. We'll stop that about halfway. Still got a way to go. Same thing with Air Force. Although Air Force, it's time to move on to a different task. We've got aerodynamic design down to 57%.
Standing by.
Let's change your research. Lightweight is tempting. Yeah, let's do lightweight. We're gonna try to get like working thopters. That's might be what we
Yes,
need.
sir.
Let's just make the whole thing lighter. %, 3% to go. And I'm hoping that taking these 2 cities is going to be worth 3%. Although we can see, assuming the scouting reports, the reconnaissance report is correct, the city we're about to take has fallen below 100,000 people. So they're being a bit aggressive with trying to not lose the city. Just drafting people out of the city. Oh, I forgot to go check up on how effective the port upgrade was. It probably wasn't particularly effective. Well, it was probably effective on its end, but its end wasn't the only cause of the problems for that shipping route. The other end was as well. Here we go, round 308. We have 8 decisions awaiting us. That's just to confirm.
Yes, sir.
Sure, we can
Roger
have another
that.
commander.
Yes, sir.
Research zone. Workers are being harassed. You're not going to succeed, so send in the troops. Yeah, that didn't work. Given to some of the demands. Given to some of the
Aye, aye,
demands. Back
Roger
doctors to
that.
mitigate there. Shadow Cult, we're just going to say
Roger
no
that.
to. Squid went away. So where was that unrest? Sure, unrest event. There. Yeah, not enough of a garrison at this point to properly suppress the unrest. Which kind of makes sense. We'll pull a bunch out to deal with the mutants the other turn, I suppose.
Affirmative.
And we still don't have enough troops in the area to suppress it. Okay. Wait another turn, put more troops in. Try again. Okay, supply situation is bad. Units are receiving supplies. It's just we need a lot of supplies. Is what's going on because we're doing aggressive offensive actions. Demobilization facility is proceeding at speed, or not proceeding at speed. It's being penalized. Truck station is being penalized. Everything else is going at speed. Power is positive. Food's doing food. Again, I think the ruralization here with the farming will be the fix. We're not currently at a uncomfortable burn rate. Yeah, we're shipping about 6,000 a turn. We're losing... Or we're getting, like, 5,000. Okay. Yeah, we haven't lost anything yet, so it's just things waiting to be delivered. We're going to do, obviously, the normal stuff for the start of an attack. Send out the recon.
Birds are in the sky. Birds are in the sky. Birds are in the sky.
And then we send in the attacks. Looks like this, because we're attacking into a swamp tile, the tanks will not be participating. This will be a pure infantry attack. Well, that appears not to be a problem for our infantry.
Mission accomplished.
No losses. A couple Lost morale, but no losses. Enemy has lost 10 subunits and been driven from the hex. It looks, from a raw tag perspective, like a pretty fair fight, or a pretty unbalanced fight, but once you realize that those are some really big, like, they're full divisions, to stop the attack here. And our guys are good, but they're not that good. I could push the issue. From a French's standpoint, this is as much as we're going to get to bring in, so I suppose we might as well take this attack. It's not going to be a great attack. Yeah, the morale of the attacking troops is collapsing. There we go. Attack stopped.
Negative to breach.
12 subunits destroyed for the cost of 14, so yeah, not a great attack. Although, from a attrition standpoint, once we solve our supply line issues, that's attrition levels that we can handle. Yeah, I think we're going to stop the attack for this turn. Getting militia garrison starting to form up there, which is good to see. Put the rail line in, because that may help. It probably isn't, because we're getting saturated here to here, which should be under the auspices of the previous rail depot already, but... yeah, should have already been affected with the last rail segment. Although that's actually... action point-wise, we still got more action points in that rail segment, so we could actually, to get more push, upgrade the rail asset itself would still be an option. Yeah,
Roger.
let's do that.
Roger. Roger.
But yeah, between that rail being improved and this truck station being improved, hopefully we'll get more logistics coming through. Yeah, okay. Good improvement seen here. You got hit with the fear, which is actually why you didn't increase on civilian happiness. Might as well do the ammo depot. We're stockpiled enough ammo that we, in theory, could have the ammo going up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Not going to bother with the food or the rail station. Do I push these assets? Now we'll get a little more power coming in first with the next round of solar panels finishing. Then we'll push those assets. Did our replenishment for the combat losses already? Yeah. .1, so we're moving the right direction. Not necessarily moving at the speed I'd like, but move in the right direction. Yeah, not in the rush of anything running out anytime soon. And the ones that are the most at risk of running out, seriously, are ones that when they run out are empty. So, not much we can do peripheral mining there. Other than prepare for the day when they be empty. And need a full alternative. Seeing the enemy move around. Although at this point we're showing off that we're stronger, we're better than them, unit per unit. We've got a numerical advantage. The only thing really holding us back from doing a full frontal assault in multiple, well, basically along the entire line at any given time is logistics at this point. In the case of the APCs, also just antiquated equipment. The APCs are still mostly the bad ones, I think. The old bad ones. The new ones are better. Round 309. We suffered no losses nor made kills. We have 9 decisions. Thieves, marauders, waste disposal accident. Okay, so 3 bad events. I think we're really going to control reasonably well. Corporate scientist is not bad.
Yes, sir.
Order received.
Roger that. Yes. Aye, aye, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Copy that. Yes, sir.
And rest is in control. Happiness is improving. We're definitely not going to tax them again until the fear goes away. That's, I think, what we need to do there. Over here, we need to throw more troops into the city if we want to suppress that unrest.
Affirmative.
And they failed to contain the unrest, so... Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring proper troops in if we're going to try to suppress it, looks like. We stand a decent possibility of just being able to bring in some more high-quality troops, so... Okay, next turn we'll try to suppress and rest again with the newly arrived forces. Volnick's presumably still the case here. Actually, in some ways it's improved. It's now between Noda docks and the front, which means it's a truck problem, not a train problem. Power bank completed in the capital. We could continue, I think, expanding... Oh no, I think that was the last level in the power bank. So the power bank's not going up until the level goes up. No, that was 4, not 5. Let's see if I can remember my Roman numerals. We can go up to 6 here. So we could do power bank again. Although we're only getting positive 63 power turn, and we're at a fourth the storage, so let's not. Until we get power production going up to actually fill the storage. So it's the same sort of logic with the food silo. We've got excess capacity to store, like 3 times the capacity to store, so that's not the problem we're having right now. Your happiness is improving. Do I just throw more workers at you? No, we're going to save them for the continent we're building logistics. Yeah, truck station was delayed. The high-speed rail wasn't. Do we have the logistics to shove? We do. So let's shove a bunch of workers in there to help the worker situation. A lot closer, so that should improve that a little bit. The pay's right, it's just danger and such. Okay. So we start off the daily, the every turn attack, I think, with a recon, although, or forget maritime trading contracts, let's up these.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and I'm almost out of mind. Nation.
Roger that. Roger that.
Oh, that's a little concerning. A little low on those.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so those all won't end. That was the one we improved recently, which did help. We're no longer... Oh, no. No, we still technically take a loading penalty, but the loading penalty is basically nothing in comparison to the unloading. It's basically an unloading penalty. Okay. Yeah, let's start our air recon. You recon there.
Birds are in the sky.
And then you air recon there.
Birds are in the sky.
And then begin our attacks. Yeah, from an odds perspective, it looks like we came off better in the recovery from the attrition over the end turn than they did. Oh, you have a black supply. Let's do the one with red supply instead. Because it probably has higher resupply of its bullets.
Going in.
Oh, this attack's come to a swift stop.
We need more firepower, sir.
15 lost subunits to 12. Oh, and then we can take him in here for the attacking from 4 sides bonus. Yeah, this is going to be a bloody affair, although we're coming with enough here that there might just be enough firepower to suppress the opposition here. Yeah.
All clear, sir.
21 destroyed to 14 lost. Okay, so we'll have more artillery support the attack there. And yeah, we're going to be attacking, probably take that hex. If we take that hex, then we'll be surrounding the city on 3 sides. Make it a little bit easier for direct assault on the city. We have 3 rounds to take freedom. So I think that will be... Seeing whether or not we successfully take freedom will be what happens in the next episode. We are going to go ahead and cycle the turn here and see what the enemy does over the end turn. They haven't attacked us for quite a while, so I would not be surprised if they don't. Yeah, but 47.2, we'd like that to be higher. One way to get that higher is to get more people, which is why we're trying to take over places like Freedom. We could be... This zone is actually reasonably... Although I don't have much money at the moment. When we get money again, we'll probably try to interact with our slave trader here. We can throw money at him and make him find people. For, you know, the census or something. Most of the construction's going at speed. We're having issues with the demilitarization facility because of happiness problems there. We're having issues with the... Well, issues with the last mile logistics into our attack here. For some reason, our artillery shoot lots of bullets, and the tanks drink lots of petrol. The aircraft probably aren't helping either, although the aircraft provide a lot of recon, which is probably making, you know, the artillery and such more effective. So cycle the turn, we'll see what the enemy does over the end turn, and then we will take the part break here. So if you're watching on YouTube, there likely will be another part up tomorrow, as we are going to record another 3 parts tonight, as we normally do. Well, maybe record 3 parts tonight. If we finish early, we finish early, is how we're going to roll it. We are going to play until we win. And then at that point, I'll decide whether or not we're moving right into Songs of Six, or if we're going to wait for the next stream in the cycle. If we end up doing like a 3-parter because we finish early, that'll be what ends up happening. Yeah, it's Becker's turn. See some movement from Becker. Okay, there's round 310. We'll be picking up at the beginning of round 310, where we have 5 decisions in the next one. So if you're watching on YouTube, that will be tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We'll pick up where we left off after a short break. So until then, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.